What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show from the Valley to the Mountaintop podcast. I'm your host, Micah Gibson. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome, welcome, welcome. On this podcast, we interview business owners to see the ins and outs on what it took to build their particular business. I hope you brought your pen and pad because we have a special guest in the building. I'm going to let him introduce himself and his company. And while you're at it, sir, give us a little bit of background on your upbringing.
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Ronnie Laz. I own Lazscapes. We are a paving and excavation business here in the Poconos. Also own Gambino's Italian restaurant in Easton, and I'm happy to be here with you guys.
I see you got your hands full. Now, what made you decided to get in business in the first place?
Well, good question. I have never had a regular job. I've always been my own boss, even from a kid,
Wow.
basically. Um, the business that I'm in now, I guess you can call it a family business. All my family's always done paving. That's all I've ever known.
Hmm.
Um, I broke away from the family business, quote unquote, 12 years ago. Started my own thing, which is called Landscapes, and yeah, I love it. I was never I, I can't follow instructions, so to speak. I can't sit still. You know what I mean? I got to lead the pack. So it was just always in me.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, bring me to day one when you said, "Man, I'm fixing to do my own thing." Like I know you said it was a family business, but then you kind of broke away from that. Bring me back to day one.
Oh man. Okay. Whew, I don't know where to start. We could probably have a whole series just on this topic. Um, so go back to day one. I was in a family business. My father was the boss, I guess. I was under him, but in my mind, I'm still the boss. All the guys thought I was the boss. I was always the guy on the ground. He was kind of the guy behind the scenes. And as I learned the business more and more, I mean, I started from the bottom, and now I'm no, now I'm at the top. So I've done every job you can do in my field. And uh, unfortunately, my father wasn't a great businessman. He did a lot of bad things in business. Um, wasn't the most honorable person, and I just did not like the way he conducted business. And that business, unfortunately, failed due to his bad bad leadership. So I said I got to do something else. I don't have an education as far as college. I have nothing to fall back on. I'm not going to be a rocket scientist or a doctor tomorrow. So let me take with what I know and let me see what I can do with it. So 12 years ago, that business failed. I went through a bad divorce. Um, Pretty much lost everything that I had. I mean, and I had everything. I mean,
Mm.
anything you could think of, I had it. I was living the life, man. My biggest problem in the morning was which car do I want to drive that matches my outfit? You know what I mean? It was like that, and all that, and literally the snap of a finger was all gone. I lost one
Wow.
of my houses. I lost all my equipment, all my dump trucks, all my toys. I lost my wife in a divorce.
Man.
We have a son. We have a son, and for all you single dads out there, you guys know what it's like. Dads, we don't get to see the kids much as we want to. So essentially, in my mind, I lost my son. I lost my whole world came crashing down, man.
Wow.
It was bad. It was bad, and I had basically nothing left. I got to keep one of the houses that I'm currently still living into today.
Hmm.
Uh, that was almost gone. That was a couple of weeks away from being taken. Um, and I had an Escalade. I had an Escalade, and no money, no nothing. Found out that bills weren't paid, the electric got turned off. I mean, I went from being a king to being a pauper
Mm.
literally overnight. It
Mm.
seemed like, and I said, well, what the hell am I going to do here? So I got in my Escalade and I drove around and I knocked on door after door, hundreds of doors, thousands of doors,
Wow.
and said, hey, in the area. I'm a driveway contractor. I don't have a shovel at this point, but I, I had to go back. I had to go back to the beginning and hustle from the ground up. So what I did, um, which it's funny now, and I wish I could find this guy, because if I could find him, I would thank him 100 times over. I was in a community up here in Bushkill, and I knocked on this guy's door. Actually, not online. I was driving and I was knocking on doors, and this guy saw me outside, and he said, "Hey, can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm a driveway. I do driveways. You want your driveway done?" And he goes, "Yeah, I do. Follow me over. I live over here." So he walked, and I drove behind him, maybe a half a block. And I said, "Oh, this driveway? Yeah, absolutely. We could do this driveway for you. Be $1,000." Now, mind you, this driveway should have been probably a $10,000 driveway,
Mm.
right? So I said, "We'll do it for $1,000." He said, "Okay, what do you need from me?" I said, "We'll take a deposit. We'll get some materials ordered, whatnot, and we'll get you done." So he said, "I have $300. That good?" I said, "Sure, that'll work." So the man hands me $300 cash. Now, I'm not proud of this, but I made good on it. This man gave me $300, and I said, "Okay, this is all the money I got. Like, whatever gas was in that truck, once that gas hit E, I was done. That's where I was gonna stay, because I couldn't even put gas in the truck."
Right.
So I took that $300 and I went to Lowe's, and I bought 2 buckets of sealer, of like the sealer you buy in the buckets,
Mm-hmm.
a mop, and those little baby trailers you see in Lowe's,
Mm-hmm.
like they have trailers for sale. Didn't even have enough money to cover that, but thankfully the cashier, the lady's name was Donna. She had she actually gave me the money to buy this trailer. I said, "I will give you the money back for this within a week." And now, mind you, she knows me from when I had a lot of money and I had a lot of things
Mm.
going on. So it wasn't like a stranger asking a lady to buy me a trailer.
Right.
It made sense at the time for her. So she did that. Lady helped me out with the trailer. With that trailer, I pulled it with my Escalade. I knocked on 100 more doors until I got somebody to say yes. Sealed the driveway for, I'd be lying if I told you how much, but say it was for $500.
Mm.
Took that $500, went back, bought more sealer, sealed a couple more driveways. Now I had $1,000. I said, "Okay, I got $1,000. I got to go back to that guy that thinks I'm going to do his driveway for $1,000." I went back to that guy. I said, "Sir, I am so sorry. Scheduling conflicts. We are so busy. I can't get this driveway done for you. But for the inconvenience, here's your money back plus 100."
Mm.
So I gave him his money back. All I needed was a loan. I needed a short-term loan just to get myself back on my feet. And I'm not proud of that, but I did what I had to do, and I made good on it. I gave the man his money back, and I gave the cashier her money back. And basically from that situation, I rolled that into, we are now 8-time award-winning paving company in the Poconos.
Wow.
I have a whole fleet of dump trucks, equipment, trailers, machines, everything that I had before, and then some. I got it all back off of
Wow.
a $300 loan. Yep.
From now was that your whole plan up front? Was, man, I'm gonna go get somebody to give me a deposit and just kind of steamroll it from there?
Well, unfortunately, I mean, and yeah, I mean, because that's the
Wow.
only way I could do it. That's the only way I could do it. There's a song, "Where Are All My Friends?" It goes, "Where are all my," you know that song?
No, I don't know it.
Okay, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, I believe, is the singer of that song. Or it might be Teddy Pendergrass. But in other words, when you're on top, you have a lot of friends,
Right.
and when you're not on top no more, there's nobody there to get your back, to have your back.
Right.
So all the people that I helped out and all the money I used to just throw out and do things and here and there and boom, 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 and buy things and help everybody out. When I needed help, I didn't have anybody to help me.
Wow.
I hadn't have nobody to help me. Nope.
Wow. And man, that's something,
Yeah.
man.
I mean,
That's thinking outside of the box to do what you did to go get some fast money. Man,
yes,
I never
yes,
heard of that. That's
yes.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, and there's a lot more branches to that story, but
Right.
from soup to nuts, I got you covered there. So
Right.
yeah.
Man. So after the steamrolling process, you just started kind of landing a little bigger job, and it's
Yeah, it was a grind, man. It was a grind. It was I mean, I would get a driveway. Say I got your driveway.
mm-hmm.
I did the right thing at that point. I became
Right.
incorporated. I got insurance. I did everything's above board and good and legit at this point. At this point at the in the story, after that paying everybody back and getting a couple driveways, and I would get a driveway and I would pave that driveway by hand.
Mm.
No machines, wheelbarrow, shovels, rakes, couple guys, couple helpers. I would have to hire a truck. I'd have to call, and get a dump truck to haul me blacktop, and I'd have to go rent a roller,
Mm-hmm.
and so I didn't have anything. I had a shovel and a wheelbarrow,
Right.
and I would do them by hand. And then I ended up doing this parking lot for this trucking company, a little baby parking lot, little like the receptionist to park at the little office.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was there, I noticed a dump truck in the parking lot that looked like it's been there for a while. And one of my guys actually came to me and said, "Hey, boss, there's a dump truck over there." So I talked to the owner and I said, "Hey, what are your thoughts on that dump truck? Is it for sale? Is it junk? What is it?" He goes, "No, actually, it's my project truck. It runs, it operates. It needs a paint job. It needs minor stuff, but it's a good truck."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Well, how would you feel about me doing this parking lot and you giving me that truck and we'll work out something with money, or if I owe you, I'll pay you, or if you owe me, you give me the difference." And that's what we did. We did that little parking lot. I got my own dump truck now at this point.
Wow.
So from that dump truck, I was able to do more jobs because I didn't have to go to the expense of hiring a truck, renting a truck. I had my own truck. And yeah, it's the American dream, man. It is literally you couldn't do this in any other country other than here, right here in
Wow.
America.
Wow.
Yeah,
Now
yeah, yeah.
do you think, like, you hear people saying, "Man, if I lose it all, I can go make it back." Now,
Yeah.
by you've already knowing the business, knowing the ins and outs, when you lost everything, do you think it was fairly, did you know in your mind, "Man, I'm about to make all this back"?
Oh yeah. No, there was no doubt.
Wow.
Like I said, I can't sit still. I can't sit still. That's my motivation.
Wow.
Uh, you know, I had to get it back. There was no doubt. There was no doubt in my mind. If I put my mind to something, I get it done, no matter what it takes, hook or crook. I'm getting it done. And it took a long time. It wasn't easy. I mean, like I said, we're going to be celebrating our 12-year anniversary.
Wow.
This April, 12 years. So from year 1 to year 12, I mean, now I'm to the point now where I'm never satisfied. I want to be
Right.
bigger. I want to be better. But I'm to the point now where I was pre losing everything. So I got it all back.
Okay. You got it all back.
Got it all back, man. And then some and more.
Right. Man,
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Now let me ask you, your equipment.
yeah, yeah.
Did you kind of buy a little bit at a time, or once you was established, you was just, "Man, I just go buy it all at one time"?
No, no, God, no. It was a long struggle. So you follow me on TikTok. If you scroll through those
Yeah.
videos, you'll see the progression of what I started with
Right.
and what I have now. No, it's I bought one thing at a time. I bought I think the first piece of equipment I bought was a roller. There's a whole story about this roller, but I bought a roller from Caterpillar, a Caterpillar steamroller, like the kind you see, when they roll the roads and the
Mm-hmm.
driveways and stuff. And then from there, it was I think a skid steer, and then it was an excavator, and then another skid steer, and then a paving machine. So yeah, so now I have an excavator, two skid steers, two rollers, and a paving machine. Yeah,
So basically, now you have everything you need,
I got everything I need. Yep,
man.
everything I need.
Man. So how do you go about now, getting all your clients?
To be honest with you, people ask me that all the time. Like, Ronnie, how are you always so busy? I mean, and we are, and we're always Sunday to Monday,
Mm-hmm.
28 hours a day. We're busy.
Wow.
Um, all word of mouth, man. All we don't really we don't do any normal advertising, so to speak. Like, we don't put ads out on in the paper,
Mm-hmm.
or back in the day, you had yellow pages or things like that. It's all word of mouth. it's all word of mouth. I mean, we post on Facebook. We
Mm-hmm.
post our work on Facebook, on our Facebook page, and TikTok and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all word of mouth. I built a great brand, a reputable name. You get quality. You get quality with landscapes. And I built the brand. I'm all about branding. I built my brand to the point where I can't go anywhere in the town I live in. I live in the Poconos. I don't know where are you guys at?
I'm I'm
Where are you
I'm
at?
I'm in South Mississippi.
Oh, you're in South. I couldn't tell from the accent.
Okay.
Uh, uh, so I'm in the Poconos. I'm in Pennsylvania,
Okay,
and
Pennsylvania. Okay.
it's a yeah, it's a small big town. So it's not a huge city, but we're right outside of Manhattan. So everybody
Oh
calls the
wow.
Poconos the sixth borough. Yeah,
Okay.
I can't go anywhere out without being recognized or walked up to, or hey Ronnie, or hey, you did my driveway, or hey, I was gonna call you next week.
Wow.
It's all about reputation, and my brand is, I want it to be like McDonald's. I want it to be like Coca-Cola. I want you to see that landscape logo and know that that's quality. You're getting value for your money. You're getting hard work. You're getting honest. You're getting all the good attributes we want everybody to have
Mm-hmm.
when you hire somebody.
Right.
Because yeah, it has to be that way. You have to sell yourself before you can sell a good or a service.
Right. Now, what's one thing about, I'm not going to say one thing, what's one of the things that you understand about this business that other guys in your same business don't understand or don't get?
That's a great question. That is a great question. I'm gonna say, man, that's a really great question. I'm never lost for words. I'm gonna say, be I want to be the best. I want to be synonymous with the best in the business.
Mm,
And a lot of guys just want to cash that check.
right.
A lot of guys just want to cash that check. And to be honest with you, I get some of my customers will call me 2, 3 weeks after I finish the job and say, Ronnie, are you ever going to deposit that check? I forget to put the money in the bank side, because for me it's all about, are you happy?
Wow.
I want to satisfy you. Before I satisfy my pocket, I want to satisfy you. Because if I satisfy you, all I'm doing is investing in myself, because that means you're going to call me back next year for another project. And you're going to tell your mother, your brother, your sister, your friend to use me.
Right. Right.
So I would say that's the leg up on the business. And I would say the second thing is, I live, eat, and breathe my business.
Mm,
When my competition's sleeping, I'm working. I
right.
don't stop. So my day starts at like 5 in the morning, and my day doesn't end till 11:30, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. Wow. Now, do you think a certain type of woman have to be able to live and deal with the type of person you is? Do you think?
Absolutely. And I got the best one you can get, because my fiance, her name's Tiffany, and if you, again, you follow me on TikTok, you'll
Mm-hmm.
see her in those videos.
Mm-hmm. Right.
She's
Yes,
the
sir.
woman in all those videos. That's her.
Wow.
She works right alongside of me.
Okay. Okay.
She's right next to me, shoulder to shoulder.
She understands
We're
it.
a team. She understands it. And what's beautiful about our relationship is we've been together for 12 years. She came into my life when my life was exploded.
Mm.
So when I had nothing is when she came into my life. So I knew she wasn't asking me for what I can give her
Mm-hmm.
or what I can do for her, 'cause I couldn't do nothing for her.
Right.
I was like, well, in 2 weeks after I met Tiffany, within 2 weeks, my house was going to get foreclosed on.
Wow.
So I saved it. I turned it all around, but I could not have done it without her help. So I agree. You need a special type of woman to be able to deal with a man in my business. Yes.
Wow. Now, do you have a lot of competition where you're at, or you're kind of like it's only a few?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I don't think I have any competition, because when
You
you're the best, you're the best.
that's
You know.
it. That's
But
it.
but right. I mean I'm on the throne. But no, I do have a lot of competition. There's a lot of other great paving companies where we live and where we're stationed out of. I mean, a lot of great guys,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of bad guys too. But you know, there's levels to it. There's levels to what I do. So I'm
Right.
in the paving business, but I don't pave highways. I
Mm-hmm.
pave driveways. I pave, parking lots, like a Dollar General parking lot,
Mm-hmm.
not a Walmart parking lot. That's
Mm-hmm.
a whole different type of paving. That's a
Oh,
whole nother league, you know. Um, but no, yes, there is a lot of competition. There is, absolutely.
okay. Do you think you would ever get into the Walmart league, or you will stay kind of you content where you're at?
No, I like the lane I'm in. I want to
Okay.
be. I
Okay.
want to stay in my lane, and
Okay.
and 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 I can be. You can be huge in my lane. I don't need to be paving highways
Mm-hmm.
to satisfy my ego.
Okay.
If you want to call it that.
Okay.
I like where I'm at. I like where I'm at.
Wow. That's awesome. Now I see you have your hands in other different things. Like when did those other ventures
Yes.
come along? Did it recently come along or they been came along?
No, no. So we do, as everybody knows now, we do paving and excavation and bricks and things like that. Now the restaurant, we also own a restaurant. So
Wow.
myself and my fiance own a restaurant along with my sister. My sister is our partner with the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And the restaurant name is Gambino's. That's in Easton, Pennsylvania. That came about because at the time, my mother was living in Long Island, New York, and my sister was actually living in Texas. And I missed both of them terribly. So
Mm-hmm.
they always were always here, close to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing a lot of work in Easton for paving. I was doing a lot of paving out there. And I kept passing this building every day. I'd pass this building, and it had a huge, gigantic for lease sign in the window. So one day I was waiting for the guys to catch up to me. I pulled in this parking lot. I called the number on the door on the window, and I said, "Hey man, I'm sitting in your parking lot right now." I said, "I see this for lease. What is this place?" He said, "Oh, it's a turnkey restaurant. Everything's in there:
Mm.
plates, cups, the stoves. It's ready to rock and roll." I said, "How far are you from this place?" He said, "Not far." I said, "Well, I'm in the parking lot. If you want to come over and show me, I'm interested."
Wow.
So the guy came, showed me the place. I said, "No brainer. Where do I sign? Let's do it."
Wow.
Right on the spot. Right on the spot. I said, "This is how I get my mom up here, my sister up here, and another revenue source, another extension of my brand." So that's how that came about.
Wow.
And it's all family recipes. My mom's in her glory. She gets to cook and clean all day. It's her two favorite things to do. You know, Italian women. Um, my sister's in her glory. I mean, all the praise to her. She's there. She runs the whole front of the house. She runs the whole show for the most part.
Mhm.
We're busy doing what we're doing with the paving. She's there, but it's very hands on. It's a lot. It is a lot to handle. But you need a good team. You got to
Right.
build a good team around yourself. Yeah.
Right. Now, with a person like you, the mentality you have, I want to ask you something, and I don't want to put nobody down because I understand you do
Yeah.
have employees, but
Yeah.
in your mind, is it stupid working for somebody else?
Well, I always ask myself the same thing, and sometimes I have to catch myself talking about that in front of my guys because like my guys are working for somebody else, right?
Right, right,
I don't want to put that thought in their mind. Um, yes and no. Yes and no. Here's my point of view on the whole thing. Everybody can't be a boss.
right,
Everybody can't be a boss. If everybody's a boss, then the whole world would stop running,
right.
stop spinning. All can't be a boss. So there's nothing wrong with being a number two, a number three, a number four. We need number five and six guys too. You need a certain structure. That's why there's a general, lieutenants, and colonels, and captains, and all privates. Because without the privates, the general has nobody to lead.
Mm-hmm.
So is it stupid to work for somebody else? It depends on you. That's an individual question for the individual.
Okay.
I personally could never work for anybody else. I never have. I never could. I never would. Um, my fiance, she's worked. She's had. She's a boss now. But prior to meeting me 12 years ago, she wasn't a boss. She worked at the casino
Mm-hmm.
and she trained horses. My sister worked at at like a clinic for like elderly people. She had a boss, but now she's the boss. So I think you can go from, being a worker to a boss,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not in everybody to do that. So I think if you could find yourself a good job, like I'll give you an example. My guys here at Landscapes,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a dead end job.
Mm-hmm.
Like as big as we get, and I say we, I mean the company is as big as they can get. They're never going to hit a cap. The more money I make, the more money they make. The
Right.
bigger I get, the bigger they can get. The more responsibilities I can give them. So I don't think it's stupid to work for somebody else if you have that mindset. Because guess what? After 5 o'clock, all those problems are my problems, not their
Right.
problems.
Right.
They get to go home.
Right. Right.
They don't got to worry about the tire when the tire fell off the truck or the machine broke down or this happened. They don't have to worry about that. I do.
Right. Now, do you? Now, I understand what you have in your hands and so many fires. It can get stressful. Do you let the stress get to you, or you kind of thrive off of it?
I thrive off it, man. It feeds me.
Wow.
It feeds me. It feeds me. And not only do we do the restaurant and the landscapes. Landscapes has another division where we do commercial cleaning for the hospitals.
Mm.
So we do like janitorial services as well and sanitation services for like clinics, like like a optometrist office, OBGYN, physical therapy, the dialysis center, labs, and things like that. So we also have a whole nother crew that does that. That my fiance kind of oversees that division. So there's always stress from every angle.
Mm-hmm.
Satisfying customers, satisfying employees, satisfying colleagues, satisfying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I thrive off the stress. Yeah.
Do you think at this point in your life you have bulletproof your income? What I mean by that, like, no matter what happened to you, you can just stay in the bed tomorrow. The money gonna come.
No,
Okay.
no, because wells run dry. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I know what it's like for that well to run dry. It happened to me before.
Right.
It
Right.
happened to me when everything crashed, you know? So everybody's trying to take your spot on top.
Okay.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Right.
So as soon as you get comfortable, that's when bad things happen. You got to always stay hungry and remember those days when you were in the house with no lights on, eating
Right.
eating ramen noodles and spam. You got to
R-
remember those days.
Right. Right. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people, they don't see those days. They just see what I
No.
see. Scroll through TikTok. Oh man, this guy got it going on, but not knowing
Yeah.
all of the work you put in.
Yeah. They have no idea how many hours, sleepless nights, uh, blood, sweat, and actual tears, missed things with your children or missed holidays or things you miss out on because you have to keep moving. You have to keep hustling. You have to.
Right.
Nobody's going to give it to you. Nobody's going to give you nothing. You got to go take it.
Right. Right. Let me ask you
Yeah.
this. I hear a
Yeah.
lot of business owners, they say this. They say when you're trying to build your business, when you're trying to get to that next level, you kind of have to push family and friends to the side and just get laser focused on. You kind of got to neglect everybody else and just laser focus in on what it is you want. What you think about that?
You have to. You have to. Absolutely. 100%.
Man,
100%.
man. But does that make you the bad guy? Because they don't see what it is you're trying to do.
No, they don't. And unfortunately, a lot of times you are painted as the bad guy, or you changed, or this. No, I didn't change. You didn't change. That's
Right.
what it is. I'm trying to better myself so I can better everybody's life.
Right.
I'm trying. You know, when you say the stress, when you say this, does stress get you? Everybody has stress. Stress is relative. Stress is subjective.
Mm-hmm.
What is stress? What I think is stress. Now you have I got to put tires on that machine, or this thing broke, or this thing I got to get this thing fixed, or the schedule's backing up. That stress, you're gonna have that no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
My stress is I got to keep them jobs rolling in. My stress is having jobs to do next week, next month, next year. That's the stress that drives me. the normal stress of breakdowns and scheduling mishaps and logistical issues. You're gonna have that whether you sell cupcakes or you sell rocks. It doesn't matter. You're gonna have that no matter what. Yeah.
Right. That's true. That is true. Now,
Yeah.
have your business afforded you the life that you've always wanted to live? Because I know you've been at the top before.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I
Okay.
work hard for it. Like, I it does. I live a great life. I probably live a little bit outside of my means, but that's on me. That's up to me to make up the difference. So, I live the life of a king. I live like a rock star. Uh,
Wow. Wow.
I do what I want, how I want. I don't look at price tags. I work hard, and I want to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I
Right.
work hard, and yeah, I mean, I always want more. You always want more.
Mm-hmm.
That's just human nature.
Mm-hmm.
Never satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I love my life. I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world.
Now, where do you see your business in the next 5 years, and where do you see it in the next 10 years?
It's a great question. In the next 5 years, Well, I mean, obviously, I want to be bigger than I am now. So I like to see this, the fleet grow. I like to see more trucks, more equipment, which would then lead to more employees, which would then lead to more crews. So just overall growth. As long as I keep moving forward every day, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have I don't set goals where like I have to be at this point to be satisfied, or I have to
Okay.
be at this point to be happy. As long as I move forward every day and I see growth as a person, as a father, as a husband, as a friend, as a brother, as a son, as a boss, as a neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
I'm satisfied. But within 5 years, I can see myself being definitely double the size I am now.
Wow.
Definitely. Yeah,
Wow.
definitely.
Now, do you have everything? Do you have like your own shop, or like how
Yeah,
did? Okay, you got your own shop.
yeah, yep, yep. So yeah, we have our own spot. At our homestead. So we got a large piece of property. We have our horses are on our property. We have some horses, and it's big enough where we're not on top of each other. All of our
Okay.
trucks and equipment
Right.
are here, and we live here. And but the next goal, the next business is and we kind of outgrew this place. We
Okay.
outgrew it, like just personally outgrew the house, and we outgrew the property, and it's just we outgrew it, and we want to get it something bigger, maybe something like 50 acres, 60 acres, um, and we want to start boarding horses. So like I said, we have horses,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what my fiance did before she met me. She was a horse trainer. So I see, in 5 years, I see myself being a lot bigger than I am now. Yeah.
Wow. Now, do you have any kind of day one employees?
Um, Good question. Day one employees. Yes, day one with me or day one with like just the business in general,
Well,
because
when you was on the second go round, building everything up, and you started to gain a little traction.
on the second go around, no, not full time anymore. I got two guys that were with me from the beginning that aren't with me full time. When I need them, they're there.
Mm-hmm.
If and when I need them. The crew that I currently have now, ironically enough, used to work for my father.
Wow. Wow.
So I've known those guys since I was a kid,
Right.
8, 9 years old, 10 years old. Here I am, 38 years old, and now they're working for me. So
Wow.
um, those are original day one OG guys. But yeah, they're great guys. I have a great team.
Awesome. Have you ever had an employee that trying to count your pockets? What I mean by that, they see the business growing, they see the new equipment, the new truck, and they try and shake you down for a raise. Like, hey man, I need more money.
Yeah,
You ever?
of course, of course, all the time.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, not all the time,
Right. Right.
but enough to say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Now, what's one of the mistakes you had to learn the hard way in your business?
and there's so many of them. I made more mistakes than I made more mistakes than I can count.
Wow. I guess what's the
Yeah.
expensive one then? The most expensive one.
Um, buying a trailer without looking at it first.
Mm.
I'm right now. I'm talking to you. I'm in my truck and I'm looking out my window and I'm looking at a trailer that I spent $15,000 on. That just you know what I use it for right now.
What's that?
I use it to store my hay bales for my horses because it's so high off the ground. I can't put any equipment on it.
Oh man.
So I bought a $15,000 storage trailer from hay.
For
Yeah.
hey,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
Now, in your line of work, buying heavy machinery, and I know that stuff can get pricey.
Oh yeah.
Do you believe in paying cash for things, or you believe in financing?
Hey man, yeah, that's also another great question. I Here's the thing with business. And when you start getting bigger and you have accountants
Mm-hmm.
and lawyers on your
Mm-hmm.
payroll to advise you.
Mm-hmm.
I know one thing: owning things outright is never a good thing in business because
Mm.
they can be taken. Things
Okay.
happen; they can be taken. So you never really want to own anything. You want to be leveraged. You want debt. That's good.
Okay.
That's good. Um, some things we own, some things we paid off, some things we bought cash.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not buying $100,000 machine cash.
Right. Right. Right.
Nobody's doing that.
Right.
Nobody's doing that.
Right.
So, you know, if you could buy something cash, more power to you. I'm kind of a blended there. There's things we bought some dump trucks cash, some dump trucks we financed, some
Mm-hmm.
all the equipment we financed. Um, that's really up to you as an individual to really talk to your accountant and your attorney and see what's best for you. But from what I'm always told, it's always better to have a payment on something than to own it outright.
Okay. Okay. Now, when you're in the ball game that you're in, buying $100,000 pieces of equipment, when you bought your first, I guess, big piece of equipment or big purchase, and you had to
Yeah.
finance it, did it kind of put you on the edge of your seat? Like, man, this thing costs almost more than my house. I mean, did you ever had any of that?
Yeah. It's it becomes real at that point. It
Right.
becomes real. It becomes, well, before I eat tonight, I got to make sure that I can make that payment. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Man,
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm not gonna say I didn't know it. Years ago when you first started seeing all these skid steers and excavators, I'm thinking, oh, $20,000, $30,000, and when I really
Mm-mm.
looked at it, I'm like, wow, man, this stuff costs more than a house
Yeah.
almost.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, there are some that are. I mean, and again, I'm not in that league. I'm not buying $300,000 piece of equipment. The stuff that I got, they're all 100,000, 70,000, 60,000 in that range.
Mm-hmm.
They're big, but they're not the size of a house big.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever ran into one of those clients that you just, man, I hate I done this job for them? Have you ever ran into some of that?
Of course.
I guess
I think
everybody too.
everybody's done that. Yeah, of course. Sure.
Now, how do you steer? Like, do you kind of read people now? Like when you go out and meet somebody, do you kind of kick? I mean, are you to the point where you can kind of read somebody like, oh no, let me stay away from him?
I think I've always been to that point. I mean, that's
Okay.
essentially what I do, and what anybody in the construction world does is you read people. That's really what you do. You're reading people for a living. You know what that guy's going to like, what that woman's not going to like, what that vice versa. Now we get them wrong sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So for the most part, I would say I'm about 90% good on reading people. On, are they going to be easy? Are they going to be hard? But then you got those 10% of the wild cards, of the perfect customer,
Mm-hmm.
and then of a flick of a switch, they change on you, and it's like, what the hell happened?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Man. Now, where do you get your motivation from? Is somebody mentoring? Well, at some point was somebody mentoring you at one point, or you all self taught?
No, I would say again, it's going to be a blended answer to a question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my father and I have not spoken in probably the better part of 13, 14 years now.
Okay.
So I can't say he's been a mentor, but I did learn a lot from my father on what not to do.
Okay. Okay.
So the things that he did, I do the opposite, and I'm going to succeed because he, you know what I mean. So I have to thank him for that. He taught me what not to do. As far as everything else, no, it's all self-taught, man. I mean, like, you say you made mistakes. I did. I made a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of things wrong, and I had to learn from my mistake and eat the cost and do it over and do it over. But that's early on in my career. Early on in my career, I don't make mistakes like that anymore. But all self-taught, and my motivation is other guys in the business. I
Wow.
look at other guys in the business. So, we're all colleagues, we're all friends.
Hmm.
Um, I look at guys, that I'm friends with in New Jersey and California and Utah, wherever, all over the country.
Hmm.
We're all friends on TikTok and Facebook, and I see those videos of what they're doing. I'm like, man, if they're doing that, I can do it. Why can't I do what they're doing? I can do it
Right.
too.
Right.
So I find my motivation in my colleagues, seeing what they're doing.
Wow, man. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. To hear your story, man. That's just so motivating, you know. Just
And you got just the tip of that iceberg, man.
I'm
There's so
sure.
much more to that story.
I'm
Yeah,
sure, man. I'm quite sure. I mean, because just like I say, man, just scrolling through your videos, man, it's just I just love seeing guys that run companies and I can just tell, man, you love what it is you do. And I
I
just
love it. I love it.
right, right. That's man, that's awesome. Now, a couple more questions and we're gonna get you out of here, Mr. Ron. I ain't
Of
gonna hold up too
course,
much of your
of
time.
course. Well,
Um,
I'm enjoying this, Gibson. Go ahead.
okay. Is there any books you're currently reading?
No,
I'm not reading any books. Now, let me ask you. A lot of
not reading.
people,
Not reading.
a lot of people have a misconception that, man, all wealthy people read books and that's the only way to be successful. But it's like you have your own way of, I'm gonna make this work regardless of how everybody else is making. Because you hear a lot of stuff from a lot of millionaires. They say all millionaires think alike, or people that's on the way to be a millionaire, they all think alike, and they all kind of do the same things. Do you kind of agree with
Mhm.
that, or you don't agree with that?
There's times I do agree with it, and then there's times I don't agree with it. I'm not a big reader. I don't
Mm-hmm.
read the Wall Street Journal. I
Mm-hmm.
don't read books.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna, I like to see things done. So instead of me reading a book, I'll watch a documentary. Like if I want to read a book about the pyramids,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to read a book about it. I'm going to watch a documentary. So I learn different, and it's funny that you asked that question. You ever watch Shark Tank, the show
Yeah,
Shark Tank?
yeah, yeah.
Kevin O'Leary. I love Kevin O'Leary. He's a mentor to me. I like to listen to that man talk. He's a very, very smart man.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Barbara Corcoran, the real estate mogul, they're both dyslexic. Now I'm not dyslexic, but I had a hard time in school too. I could never sit still long enough. I would have a hard time focusing. Um, I was not an A student, a C student at best. Um, but what I find is that the C students are the bosses. The C students are the ones that the A students end up working for.
That's true.
So, I don't think you need to read books to be successful. I don't think you need, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all those type of books, and
Mm.
like Tony Robbins TED Talks and things and things like that. I think if it's in you, it's in you, and it's going to happen. You can't go against God's plan.
Mm.
It's God.
Mm. That's so true, man. That is so
Yeah,
true. Because, like you say, if it's because I remember people getting wound up about the election, and I understand it does matter who's in the White House. It's going to kind of affect how some people do things. But I just always felt like, man, when you wake up in the morning, that man staring back at you in the mirror, that's who gonna save you.
absolutely, 100%,
That's yeah,
100%.
yeah, yeah. Now, Mr. Ronnie, I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. Do you want to plug your how people can view your content or possibly reach out to you for work?
Sure, sure. Let's see. Let's start with. I don't even know my handles. Let me open up my phone
Busy man,
so I
busy
can
man.
see what's going on here. All right. So Ronnie Laz. If you want to follow me on Facebook, just type in Ronnie Laz. If you scroll through, you'll see some stuff. You'll know it's me. I always got my sunglasses on. That's my trademark.
Yeah.
Uh, if you want to follow us on Facebook, the business, it's Lascapes and Laz Industries at the real Lascapes, like at the little at symbol, the real Lascapes. TikTok, Ronnie Laz. Instagram, Ronnie Laz. Gambinos, you'll find Gambinos going right through me on Facebook. And if you need a driveway paved or just some excavation done, call me 570-994-5650. We service Northeast PA, Monroe County, Poconos.
Now, Mr. Ronnie, what's one of your hobbies? I know you say you try and live like a king. What's one of your hobbies?
One of my hobbies. I love working out in the yard. I love experimenting in our yard before I bring a new idea to a customer on like a layout of a patio or a waterfall. Our house is like the Frankenstein house of all the things that I try out. So I always love building things for
Okay.
myself, like waterfalls and ponds, and we got the cruising bug. I don't know if you've ever been on a cruise before, but we just got off a 12-day cruise, man.
Wow.
My future wife and I, and my future brother-in-law and sister-in-law. This is our third cruise this year. So I guess you
Wow.
could say that's my hobby. I
Right.
like cruising.
Right.
It's fun.
Favorite vehicle or vehicle you plan on buying in the future?
My favorite vehicle that I've owned would be a Cadillac. I've owned them all from the Escalade down to I'm looking at a CT6 right now, parked next to me in my driveway.
Wow.
Cadillac's my favorite vehicle that I've owned. My dream vehicle is a Bentley Azure.
Oh man.
Yep,
Man,
that's my dream vehicle.
I love to see that on your page. I know I'm gonna see it one of these days.
You mark my words, I will have that one day. Yes.
Miss-
Oh, but I do have a limousine. I do have a 28-foot Lincoln town car limousine with the full bar and the TVs in it and all that stuff. I have that.
I think I seen that in one of your videos. I thought you maybe was
I
that in
have
one of
that.
your videos?
Probably, yeah, a bunch of my videos. So yeah, we another business that we do is Kane's Coaches because our son's name is Kane, Kane, like the wrestler. Not
Wow.
named after the wrestler, but that's how it's spelled.
Right.
And I'm still waiting on some paperwork to come back from the state you need certain numbers to make that operational. Um, but yeah, I do have a limousine. That's pretty cool. That's cool owning that. And I
Man,
never thought I'd have that before, but that's cool.
that is cool. That is cool. Well, Mr. Ronnie,
Yeah.
man, again, I really appreciate your time for you carving time out for your schedules for you to do this.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. And again, man, keep posting that awesome content because, man, if ain't nobody else watching, I am.
Yeah. Follow me on TikTok, Ronnie Laz.
Yes, sir. Thanks again, Mr. Ronnie.
Hey, Gibson, real quick before you let me
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
where is this going to be? Do you post this on? Where can we listen to this?
What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna upload it to Spotify, and then from Spotify, it should automatically upload to iHeartRadio, Amazon. Sometime it take the next day, but Spotify within an hour, this will be up on Spotify. And then I'm gonna,
Oh, that's
later,
awesome, man.
yeah, later on, I'm gonna kind of chop it
Yeah,
up and put it on TikTok, and then I'm gonna throw it on my YouTube channel.
cool. Please send me the link.
Oh, I will. Once I'm finished editing everything, you will get the link.
Awesome, man.
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
good. Keep doing what you're doing. And I don't know if people tell you enough, but people need to give you your flowers because what you're doing, I think, is a beautiful thing to spread the word out there to business owners, and so people that are that might want to become a business owner, it'll give them the courage to take that step and do it because that's scary. Like we were talking about this before we went live. The scariest thing in the world is owning a business.
And that's true, man, because like me, I'm trying to get my lawn service landscaping kind of I have it off the ground and I run it, but I'm
Right.
not to that point where I'm making the money I want to make. So what I normally do, I run my business throughout the spring and the summer. And in the wintertime, I kind of
Mhm.
fall back on my skills, which is a welding trade. I go get a job. And the whole time I'm on that job,
Sure.
man, I'm looking at it like I feel like this honestly, I'm gonna just be honest on how I feel. I feel like the stupidest person in the world because I'm working 7 days a week for somebody else And it's like I'm still trying to figure out the business aspect of my own business, and it's frustrating. So, and then when I just and on all my social media platforms, only thing I do is just follow business owners,
Right.
watch their videos, and it motivates me. And then, like, man, I said, man, I need to start talking to business owners to just see what's in them that's not in me, and just, man,
Yeah.
listen to you talk, like you say, man, you lost everything, and hey, man, I'm gonna go rebuild it and get it all back. And that's motivating for me. And I just feel like, man, this can help other people, because everybody have in their mindset that you have to go to college to be successful. You have to read
No.
books, and you have to follow this straight line that everybody else follows. And I just, man, nah, it's other ways. And talking to guys like you and other guys I've talked to, I just want to show the world, man, like, you do not need a college degree to live the life you want to live.
No, sir. Gibson, success is not a linear. It's not a straight line.
You're right.
It is not a straight line. It's got a lot of curves, and you cross so many different paths. There's so many different amazing people and bad people,
Mm-hmm.
and the ride it's the ride of a life. It's the ride. I can't even explain. I mean, because you own a business, so
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You can't even put it into words. The adrenaline rush that you get from just waking up every day and making a difference in somebody's life at some point.
Right.
It's
Right.
amazing.
It is.
It's amazing. And don't feel stupid about doing what you're doing. You're playing chess. You're not playing checkers. You're playing chess. You're doing the right thing, because you can't cut lawns in the wintertime.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
what are you going to do? Twiddle your thumbs? You're falling back on a trade that you already know how to do, and you're planning your next move, man. So keep punching. You will definitely get there. Believe me, you
Yeah.
will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Mr. Ronnie.
Thanks, Gibson.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
You too, man.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Let's give it up for Mr. Ronnie, y'all. I've heard people say that if I lose it all, I can go and make it again. And this is the first guy in my 35 years of living on this earth where I've heard somebody lose it all and then go get it back. To me, this man's story is like a movie, because you lose it all. You jump in your truck with nothing. You jump in your truck with nothing, and you go knock on 1,000 doors, and you sell one job, take a deposit, take the money from a deposit, go buy other materials, talk somebody into buying you a trailer, sell other jobs, take that money back, pay that guy back off, and you just steamroll a business. I watched this guy TikTok channel. This guy does pool work, welding work. Like you say, he got a limousine company, the excavation business, the driveway sealing business. In my mind, to me, that's a guy that's bulletproofed his income. Yes, I understand wells can run dry, but this right here is going from the valley to the mountaintop. That's what this is. This is going from the valley to the mountaintop. And like the guy said, it's no competition for me. I am the best. You have to love what it is you do. You have to be willing to put in the grind 7 days a week for what it is that you want to achieve and do. Most people will never make that transition in life to be their own boss and to live the life that they want to live. And man, this motivates me to try and change my situation, because you see other guys. I mean, they're listen. I like to surround myself with winners, and I like to listen to other people that have won. I thrive off that. It motivates me to grind just a little bit more. And look, I'm gonna tell you something. I was planning on going to work tonight to my full-time job, because they had us working on New Year's Eve, right? And if I would have went to work, I would have never had the chance to do this interview with Mr. Ronnie. And I will say, just listening to that guy's story, man, it makes me look in the mirror and reflect on myself. Because when you listen to a man who really gave it his all to achieve the things he want to achieve, then I understand comparison is the thief of joy, but if this guy can do it, why can't I do it? That's how I see it. And that's how I view it. And that's how I want my viewers to view this. You don't need a college degree to achieve what it is you want to achieve. Yes, you need a college degree to be a doctor. No, you don't need a college degree to run a lawn service landscaping. No, you don't need a college degree to seal somebody's driveway. No, you don't need a college degree to put a roof on somebody's house. And like he said, the A students, the guys that aced school, are working for the C students. Because think about it like this. Man's credentials don't always work in God's world. That's how I see things. Man, again, Mr. Ronnie, I really appreciate your story. You do not understand the impact you have made on me tonight. Just your story is just so motivating. I've always seen that in movies. A man lose everything and then he turn around and just get it all back. I've heard people say that on movies. I've never talked to a guy that actually done it. And man, I didn't want to hold that guy's time up, man, but it's just, his story is, to me, I don't know what y'all got out of it, but that story is so powerful and motivating to me. It's just, man, it pumped me up. New Year's Eve, that pumped me up. 2025 is coming. And man, I will catch y'all on the next one.